This is Jarrod Horak, and I'm back with my second horse of the day video for this week. And I did for November 17th, I did the feature race at Del Mar. That would be the 7th race for Friday, November 17th. And then for this video, for November 18th, I'm going to do the Cary Grant Stakes, the 8th race. And then for Sunday, I'm going to do the Grade 3 Bob Hope Stakes for November 19th. So keep checking my YouTube channel for these horse of the day videos at Del Mar each day. And we'll keep track of the results, and hopefully after the end of this 13-day Del Mar Fall Meet, we can show a flat bet profit with our top choices in these videos. And if you're interested in reading all of my handicapping articles for the 2023 Del Mar Fall Meet, head on over to todaysracingdigest.com and you will be able to check out all of my handicapping articles. Now for week one, the article I just wrote, I recapped week one, all the stakes races, and then previewed the stakes races for this week. So check out that article at todaysracingdigest.com, and we'll get into the analysis of this video after I mention that if you're interested in my full card analysis at Del Mar, I cover full cards each day at Del Mar. You can either purchase those on my personal website at therunawayrhorse.com on my sales page, or at todaysracingdigest.com. So check out those websites if you're interested in my full card analysis at Del Mar. Now we'll get into the analysis of this Cary Grant Stakes 8th race at Del Mar, Saturday, November 18th. $100,000 Cary Grant Stakes for California bred or sired, 3-year-olds and up, 7 furlongs on the main track. 6:58 p.m. Eastern Time is the post time. And now we will pull up the field here, and Principe Carlo breaking from the inside post. Librato Barocchio is the trainer. Kyle Frey is the rider, and he is 15-1 morning line. He will probably impact the pace from the inside post. Trip to Spain is the next one. Jamie Thomas is the trainer, with Giovanni Franco riding 20-1 morning line. None above the law for trainer Peter Miller. Hasn't won in quite some time. Flavian Prat is aboard, and he is 6-1 morning line. Lovesick Blues for trainer Steve Miotti, and Steve Miotti has a couple horses in here. Umberto Rispoli is going to ride. He's 12-1 morning line. Fast Draw Munnings has scratched, so he is out of this race. Big City Lights for trainer Richard Mandela, with Juan Hernandez aboard. He is 5-2 morning line. You have the Chosen Vron. Eric Kruljak, the trainer. Hector Barrios is the rider. He's your 4-5 morning line favorite. His last start was in the Breeders' Cup Sprint, and he ended up finishing 5th that day. Moose Mitchell. George Papapadromo is the trainer. Mario Gutierrez will ride, and he is 12-1 morning line. Desmond Doss will round out the field. He's the second Steve Miotti trainee. Tyler Bays is aboard, and he is 12-1 morning line. So looking at the pace in here, it doesn't seem to be. It doesn't look like there's going to be a lot of speed in here. Principe Carlo has the best last race, Today's Racing Digest pace rating at a 152, coming off of a fairly long layoff there. The next horse, Trip to Spain, could show some speed. He got a 138 pace rating last time. And then you have Moose Mitchell with the 135, and Big City Lights with the 129 coming off of a layoff. Desmond Doss with the 140, and then you have the Chosen Run at a 126. None above the law, and Lovesick Blues will probably be coming from a bit off the pace in here, especially None Above the Law. He likes to do his best running late. And now we'll go through the field very quickly. Principe Carlo from the inside post, this is his third start after a long layoff. His first start after a long layoff, he was 6th in an 8-horse field, and then he was 6th in an 8-horse field again after dueling on the lead in his second start off of a layoff. They were both at Del Mar this summer. He's overall at Del Mar, he's 11 starts with 3 wins and a second. He's 1 for 5 at this distance with 2 runner-up finishes, and he'll show speed from the inside. I just don't know that he's in the kind of form that he needs to be in to threaten this kind of field. Trip to Spain, Golden Gate Fields claiming 32,000 last time he dueled, and he missed by a half length. He's a first-time gelding. He's consistent, 11 starts, 3 wins, 3 seconds, and 2/3. He's run once at Del Mar, and he was 2nd in the Graduation Stakes. And he'll probably impact the pace, either pressing or stalking the pace. But I think this is probably too much for him. None Above the Law. He was 0 for 5 in 2022 and 0 for 5 this year. So in his last 10 starts, he just has 1 second and 2 third-place finishes. Now, he can hit the board in stakes races. In the California Flag, in a turf sprint last time, he was 3rd at 5-1. He also finished 3rd in the California Dream in a mile and a 16th on turf at Del Mar. And then he was 2nd in the California Flag last fall at 7-1. And with Flavien Prat getting aboard, I can see him rallying and maybe getting a piece of this, but he just hasn't won in so long. I just don't see how he's going to be able to run these down. Just don't think there's enough pace to set up his late charge. Lovesick Blues, he'll try to rally from off the pace. He exits back-to-back show finishes in a starter allowance race and an optional claiming 80 non-winners, 2 other than. Just think this is probably a bit too tough for him, maybe a minor award. Big City Lights is making his first start since January of 2023. He's run 6 times with 3 wins in 3 seconds. He won his first 3 career starts, first by 12 in his 2021 debut at 4.5 furlongs. The Fasig Tipton Futurity, he won that one by 7. And then in his next start, August of 2022, he won the Real Good Deal Stakes. He wired the field in all of those races. And then the Chosen Vron was his competition in his last 3 starts in the E.B. Johnson Stakes, the 2022 Cary Grant, and the Cal Cup Sprint. And the Chosen Vron beat him in all of those races, although Big City Lights in January was only a neck behind that one, stalking the pace. So he set the pace in his first 5 starts. And then in his last start, he showed the ability to stalk and pounce. He can run well fresh. He's run twice at Del Mar with a win and a second, and twice at this distance with a win and a second. He should be all over the pace, if not the one to catch, turning for home. The Chosen Vron, 4 to 5 morning line. He's 13 for 18 with a second and 2 third place finishes. He's 2 for 4 with a second at Del Mar, and he's 1 for 4 at this distance with a second and a third. He won 8 races in a row, starting in the 2022 E.B. Johnson Stakes. And that stakes winning streak went all the way through the Grade 1 Bing Crosby, July of 2023. So he beat state bred stakes horses 7 races of those 8, and then he stepped up into the Grade 1 Bing Crosby and he won that one by a head. And then the Breeders' Cup Sprint, he was 5th in an 8-horse field, racing wide and just beaten 5 lengths there, just a little bit over his head. Back with State Bred Company, obviously a contender, but he just ran on November 4th, and now he's back on November 18th, coming back in 2 weeks. And you have to think if he would have run better in that Breeders' Cup Sprint, especially win it, there's no way he's coming back in 2 weeks to run in this race. So this is definitely plan B. He didn't run as expected in the Breeders' Cup, and they're trying to wheel him back quickly. Moose Mitchell, he's a 4-year-old gelding. He's 8 for 27. He's 3 for 8 at Del Mar, but he's 0 for 2 with no top 3 finishes at 7 furlongs. So I think at this distance is not his best distance. He'll probably stalk the pace. He is sharp, coming off of a nice optional claiming win at Santa Anita at 6.5 furlongs on November 5th. Desmond Doss for trainer Steve Miotti. He's 7 for 26. He's earned more than $400,000 in his career. He's 0 for 2 at Del Mar with a second, and he's 0 for 1 at this distance with a third. His last 2 starts, he was second in an optional claiming race. That was August of 2023 at Del Mar at 6 furlongs. Santa Anita at 6.5 furlongs. He was an even 4th last time. Third start after a layoff, outside post. Can see him doing something here, but some of the favorites, especially the Chosen Run, is going to be tough. So I think this really is between the Chosen Run and Big City Lights. And I mentioned that the Chosen Run has defeated him in his last 3 starts, but he is coming back in 2 weeks after a disappointing try in the Breeders' Cup Sprint, and now they're going to hammer him in the wagering. He could certainly bounce back, but I'm going to go with Big City Lights as my top choice and my horse of the day in this video to defeat the Chosen Run. I know that the Chosen Run did defeat him in his last 3 starts, but he runs well fresh. He's got from a tactical standpoint, it's possible that he's either going to sit in second and take the lead in the stretch, or he's just going to go right to the front and possibly try to wire the field in here. Decent workouts for this. Juan Hernandez, his regular rider, stays put, and I think if he can just get out there and run a better race, and he still has upside. With only 6 starts as a 4-year-old, I think he possibly can run faster, whereas the Chosen Run is just kind of, we know what he is. He's a good solid horse. He's going to run his quality race, but I think maybe Big City Lights has a little bit more to offer, and he can mildly upset the Chosen Run in this race. So he'll be my horse of the day in this video. So don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment if you like this horse racing content, and keep checking my YouTube channel for these Horse of the Day videos at Del Mar each day that they run. And then my Road to the Kentucky Derby and Kentucky Oaks video series will resume next weekend from Churchill Downs. So until I see you next time, good luck at the races.